Okay, let me start this damn recording and talk about our terrible game week, except for you. Yours wasn't too bad, but we'll get there. 17. Oh, yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game Week 17, our episode 17 of At a Time FPL, our weekly football podcast. Happening every week until we get over it or until Chelsea get relegated. Mike, how's it going?
Well, my FPL week went better than yours. I can at least
It
say
did.
that.
It did.
I made some good
You made
forward-thinking
insane
transfers.
clutch moves, and your players got points. Except, well, you're lucky Solanke came on for Haaland because you had him on your bench.
I did, but that's the whole point of a bench, right?
Yeah,
That's
we did say that as
and
well.
I
You having the depth, having the bench depth.
I don't know if you're gonna mention Solanke. I'll just say this about him: he's a player.
Mm,
You should, if you go watch his highlights of that Man
yeah,
United game, he was dirty.
yeah.
He ran across the post towards the right, flicked the ball towards the left, made United look like I wouldn't want to swear,
It
but
doesn't. It doesn't take much to make United look. It's just Chelsea's that bad. That's all. By the
he
way,
makes it.
before you carry on, people might be thinking, why are you being upset about Chelsea when you're wearing a Chelsea shirt? I just need to tell you something. This is the only football shirt that I own. So I wanted to wear a footballing shirt for the podcast. I don't have others. So I'll probably buy more when I get to UK. So, but for now, it's just a blue shirt. All right. Just
Quick side reel. Not, I know we both Chelsea supporters. We're both depressed. But what other shirts do you teams in the world do you like that
I,
would be good shirts to buy?
I want to get Wrexham just because
Uh,
it's Wrexham. I want to get into Miami. Not because of Messi, but because of David Beckham. I always used to like David Beckham growing up. So, and he owns the club. So I was like, into Miami. I would like to get an AC Milan shirt because of Ronaldinho. And I would also get a Aston Villa shirt because
this guy,
uh,
this guy's predicting the Premier League winners. He's
because
gonna
they're
get
gonna win and the
Aston
shirt's
Villa
gonna be
2023, 2024.
they're gonna pull a Leicester. Yeah,
I like Dortmund shirts. They're
Dortmund's is
always good.
nice. Yeah.
They're nice bright yellow. I also like Juventus.
Oh yeah, that black stripe is cool.
Juve's
And
shirts
you can't buy a
are
Newcastle one because that's just sin. So you have to buy Juventus one.
But back to FPL. I'm telling you about Solanke. This guy. Firstly, there's this another guy in Bournemouth. It's I think his name is Philip. Uh, he looks exactly like Solanke, so it gets confusing. The Bournemouth strategy is to confuse players because they have two players that look
So
like
they
Solanke.
mark Philip. Yeah, it's billing. They mark him, and then they're like, wait, that's not Solanke. And Solanke goes and scores.
Go see this guy. He looks
I,
exactly like Solanke. I'm looking at it like Solanke. He's like a
I'll put a
taller
pop up. I'll
Solanke.
put a pop up for you watching on YouTube. You'll see it. Yeah, no,
But
it's he looks. If Solanke had
Solanke hit
more
the
hair, it's the same.
yeah.
Like it's the same.
Solanke hit the post as well. So I wasn't worried about Solanke for this match. I'm just lucky. But for the next fixtures,
Mm.
I guess I'm starting my watch list. Solanke's got Luton. He's got Forest. He's got Fulham. Bournemouth are on fire. That's two home games again. But two home games. Right now, I'm seeing home games and form greater than fixtures though. But Bournemouth has all three.
Yeah, yeah.
They got home games, they got form, they got fixtures, and Solanke's on fire. And that brings me into the most, the biggest thing that everybody's talking about right now.
So I have a watch list of players, and I was going to talk about a few other players, but I'm probably not because I need to focus on Haaland. So, like, what do you do? So, my
Just explain to everybody what's going on with Haaland.
okay.
Like, what is it?
So my man was going into the Luton game. Um, everyone was going to captain him. There were rumors of triple captain in Haaland. There were players that did triple captain Haaland, but they're vice solo, so it kind of worked out. So, but I think it was in training. He picked up a foot injury, and so he was doubtful for last week's game, and he just didn't travel with the team. Or like it was like the day of, I think, or the day before. The news came out that Haaland's not fit to play.
Night
So
before, yeah.
everyone's like, what do? You just better pray that your flippin' vice captain was in place. By the way, the City game was on Sunday, so the night before was Saturday, but that was already past deadline, so you kind of had to just hope for the best. So for those of you that did vice captain Salah, this brings us back to Mike's point last week about how important your vice captain is, just by the way, because of this situation that just happened. It can happen to anybody. So I think they're recalibrating Haaland's circuit board. I think his robotics just went a bit out because he hasn't been hauling points. So maybe that's what the foot injury is. No, I was kidding. But anyway, he's definitely out for this weekend. So what do you do?
Yeah, well, this is the thing with Haaland, right? I was the one that said triple captain Haaland. Or I was thinking about it because Haaland versus Luton is a haul waiting to happen.
Mm, mm, mm.
Okay. However, my brain told me a couple of things that I know from history. Number one, if it's City's easiest game, I remember Pep resting his best player for the
Yeah,
easiest
yeah,
games,
yeah. That is
right?
a common practice.
I also know that Haaland, this City have got a sort of a bottleneck of fixtures because they got the Club World Cup and the Champions League. They're playing today. Okay, it's confirmed that Haaland is not playing today for Champions
So
League,
he's very
but it's
doubtful for the weekend.
but but there's still the slight chance he plays. But here's the thing: he's not playing the next game week in Game 18 because they got a blank.
That's what I was about to
There's
say.
no
So
play.
it's 2 weeks you could miss on points because of Haaland being out
So here's the thing that people are debating online: do you send him out of your team right now before he drops in price?
for two
Because
weeks.
you could take that money, you can spread it across your team. Reality, you have to bring Haaland back. Those non-Haaland people are okay now, but when he starts hauling again, they're gonna suffer.
Mm.
You can bring him back in January. Everyone can because
He would
January
have dropped him,
wildcard.
but he also would have dropped in price. So you sell him now for 14, and you bring him back for like 13.8, maybe, and then you've
With your wild card,
got extra
because you're
money.
going to spread that money over 3-4 players, it's difficult to go one and one back. But wild
Yeah,
card January, after a 2 week break in 13th Jan, when you come back for game 21, and
yeah.
then all of a
Bring him
sudden.
back against Newcastle, and there you go. You ride
But
his
here's
rank.
the thing: is it worth risking not having him for Sheffield and Everton? Both
Mm.
teams are playing well. Both teams have re-energized. Chris Wilder's back at Sheffield. Everton have uh, just this whole. They took the points deduction and then now they're starting to play like a team again. So that's the gamble? Do you
Maybe,
take Haaland out for those 2 games?
yeah.
This next 4 games or 3 games, I would say, with the blank. You take him out for the next 4 game weeks and you spread the money. Are you taking the gamble and the risk of not having him in your team when it comes to those 2 games that come back,
It's.
even if
I
he
think it's
doesn't play?
always a risk to not own Haaland, but also it might just be a situation of you take him out for 2 weeks and then you just bring him back. Could also just do that,
Can I
and
tell you
not
what my
spread the
plan
money
is?
around.
I give
I
you
know what
insight
your
to my
plan
plan.
is. I know what you, let me get. Let me get.
Okay, do tell me my plan.
You're
You
gonna
tell
take
me
you're
my
gonna
plan.
take Holland out. You're gonna take him out,
Yes.
and you're gonna use
Who
the
am I
money to
bringing in?
buy Son.
That's exactly what I'm
I
gonna
knew it.
do.
I knew it. I knew it.
Because Sun is now talking about the fact that he's leaving to go to the Asian Cup,
Yeah,
and he's going to stay until Spurs' last game of this year, calendar year, and then he's out. Then he's gone. So this is the perfect opportunity to make the most of players like Salah and Sun, who are potentially not going to be playing, obviously for
you
those two
might as
week
well get
break.
them in. So we are a little bit contradicting ourselves, but it's okay because things unfold and new information happens. But it's fine. We have news now that Son is staying for a bit longer. So capitalize, like you say, like capitalize because he's going to probably play hard.
Did you see Sun and with Richarlison in the middle, Sun got back to his wing and he just like FIFA 24 style just crossed the ball for tap-ins. It was insane.
I know. He's really strong on the left side. I know he's been playing a striker, but he's a left mid. He's a left winger.
If he has
He's
a strong
really good.
striker,
I mean,
he's
if
one
Harry
of the
Kane was
best
still with
in the
Tottenham this
Premier League.
season, I think they would be first.
We would, I don't know how we'd be playing FPL
Imagine,
because I don't know how you'd fit
imagine
Son
Son,
and
Harry
Kane.
Kane, and Madison. Imagine, hey, they would have been winning the
Uh,
league this year.
that has been fire.
So well, let's do this. Let's talk about the transfer plans before we talk about a watch list because we kind of already touched on what you are planning. So you're planning to take a hit. We've already taken a hit. Me and you have already taken a hit, if I'm not mistaken, or we've already
I'm not,
made a transfer.
I'm not, I'm not doing transfers until after Champions League. I never do
Mm,
Champions League
mm, mm.
transfers unless I'm super worried about cash. But I ain't worried about cash. I got 14 million to spend with Haaland money.
Damn, boy. That's true. That's true. I made an early move on Saturday because I had to get Gordon in my team for this week because I didn't because I took Doku out. When Doku didn't start against Luton, I was like, let me just get rid of you now. It's going to
Are you
bite me in the
not?
back. Yes,
Are
I
you
am.
not
No,
about Trippier?
I am.
You finally jumped on the Trippier bandwagon.
And he
It
gets
was the one
banned.
week before he got 2 blanks and he's banned. That's 3 game weeks that you failed for Trippier. Does that make you nar?
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching this weekly podcast.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's sad though, right?
It
Like
is.
you put
It's
off
very upsetting.
Trippier and then you jumped on Trippier the moment everything
It's
went downhill for Trippier.
it is annoying, but it's part of the game. And my consequence for that is I am sitting in 7th in our mini league, down from 4th. So it's
Shout out to
bad.
Redwan who passed us.
Redwan, who we hope to have on the podcast soon, decides to bring in Arnold and captain him to get 24 points 1 week. Then decides to bring in Raul and Cunha. He can't keep up. He's the GOAT. Cunha, Raul, Son, Salah. We can't.
Float like a butterfly, sting like an FPL point to the face.
Ridwan Ali, I'm telling you. Yeah, like it's hard not to mention his managerial prowess, should you say. It's his, and he came from 10th and now he's sitting 5th. So I mean, fair play to you.
Tell me something now. Everybody on the internet is talking about taking Haaland out. I've spoken about Solanke. Give me someone else. Who's you taking out, putting Haaland in the forward position?
So my watch list only has 3 strikers just because I'm trying to deal with the Haaland issue.
Fire.
My 3 strikers, other than Solanke, my other 2 is Alvarez. Naturally, you'd assume Alvarez because Haaland's out. So who plays number 9? Alvarez. And Jimenez. Because if we're talking about form, Jimenez has been, I think he's tied or second for the most shots among forwards in the last 3 weeks. And what have we been saying? Form is everything. FDR is nothing. So if my man's taking shots in the box, he's averaged 4.2 points over the last few weeks as well. I mean, Fulham got game, bro. Fulham's got better ball than Chelsea.
Do you think Fulham can do another 5-0? I mean, against Newcastle?
Look,
hell yes. The way Newcastle are playing.
And I wouldn't put it past them because they don't have Trippier. They I think Fabian Schär has a bit of a knock. He hasn't been like operating at 100%. He keeps like, I don't know. Maybe
Okay,
just
goalkeeper. Can we put our hands up and say we effed up there?
Dubravka was a flop, but it was also a gift. Like any FPL manager, podcaster, influencer person would have seen Pope get injured and would have seen Dubravka at 3.9 and think, we got to jump on this now. And it almost paid off if it wasn't for that meddling Everton.
And Trippier just forgetting how to
Why
play.
does Sean Dyche have to be so strong? Hey, just come out of nowhere. Just take 10 points away from me. I'll just get 10 back next 3 weeks.
I love listening to Sean Dyche talk though.
You said it earlier, the Ginger Mourinho.
I love his accent. It's like his voice is like going away as he's talking. Anyways, you got Alvarez, Jimenez. I like Jimenez. There's so many good options from Fulham, but Jimenez is the forward option, and that's what makes him better than Iwobi, and that's what makes him better than the Willian, which are all great picks. But we know how packed our midfield is.
I do want to say I shouted out Willian last week and he got points.
You did? And I thought that was a brilliant idea, and he's on my personal watch list because he's got experience.
Oh, I just see now he's got a bit of a hammy injury, apparently. He's 75%. A bit yellow.
Old. His hamstrings are old.
I mean, he's fitter than Reece James, so let's not go there.
Let's go there.
So, yeah. Like, sorry, Iwobi also, like, they're all 5.3, the 3 of them. Iwobi, Willian, and Jimenez are all 5.3. So,
last week were talking about Cunha. A lot of people are jumping on that bandwagon.
I think they're jumping more on the Hwang Hee-chan bandwagon than Cunha, to be honest,
But Chan is the midfield, right?
Yeah, but I think he's playing up front, which is why they're jumping on him as that cheaper. Like, I would take, looking back, I would have got rid of Palmer ages ago for Chan, just because it's Chelsea now. Like, I don't even think I'm going to hold Palmer for Jan. The fixtures are great for Chelsea, but like I'm giving them this week, and if Palmer doesn't do anything, he's out just because it's
To be fair, Palmer, if you watch the game, Palmer had some.
I know, but like
some shots. He's the only thing in Chelsea worth watching.
He is.
Compare him to Fernandes, 100 million. Like can't even.
If you put like Højlund, imagine you put Højlund with Palmer. Like there's so many good players that work with each other that are in separate teams in the Premier League this season. You know what I mean? Like you could put Enzo at Arsenal, and I think he'll do a better job than Havertz. Like, you know what I'm saying? Probably not, because Enzo's fraud. But anyway, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I digress. You can see Solanke is playing really well, and Jimenez is also playing really well. Alvarez is okay, but he hasn't found that like hot runner form yet. But Alvarez is the no-brainer because Haaland is injured, so he has to play. And then like, so I would actually maybe thinking about it, rate Alvarez and Cunha on the same page, but I probably put Alvarez in there because it's Man City and the ceiling is a bit higher,
And Haaland is out,
and
so
Haaland is
if
out.
Haaland is 50-50, Alvarez is 100%.
That's it.
Take that whole space up. Here's the thing. I'm staying away from Darwin or Darluz because Darwin can't shoot for. He's a Chelsea player, that guy.
Yeah, he
But
belongs at Chelsea.
I'm gonna let you know. So we got Watkins, you got Alvarez, you got Solanke, you got Cunha, you got Darwin. Okay, you got options. You got Raul Jimenez, but I'm gonna you even got Pedro and João Pedro and Ferguson that you can talk about.
Isak if you
But
want as well.
that's the one.
That's the
That's
one.
fire. Now, yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. I try my best not to like. I have these ideas and thoughts and intuition, and I don't go on it because I overthink it. I'm not doing that this week. My brain, my intuition, my heart,
Telling
everything
you
is
Isak.
telling me Isak is gonna haul. I don't know why. You look at his form; he doesn't have form. Wilson is back. On top of it, Wilson is back. I think it's important to watch Champions League today and see who plays, if Wilson plays or Isak plays. But
I have a theory.
I have this feeling
Yeah.
Isak is the one.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
Wilson,
mean,
but
maybe not. I mean, maybe so. Sorry, maybe so. Maybe you're right. Because I have a feeling that when there's only one striker, they get a bit relaxed because their position is not under threat. You know what I mean? As soon as the striker comes back, it's like, okay, I've got to prove myself again. So I would argue Isak's been blanking. Wilson's back. He's not fit enough to start, but maybe Eddie Howe's thinking, all right, how long until I can bring Wilson back? Isak's like, no, I need to show you I'm still the one. Fulham at home, the best place to do it.
I'm worried that today Newcastle have a must-win game just to
PSG,
stay in Europa League, let alone
when Isak plays
hope for
90
the.
minutes and then Wilson starts on the weekend.
Yeah, so that's why I'm gonna watch that game closely. But I have a feeling Isak Wilson, there's something there this week that if I was gonna take Haaland out, this I'm gonna go for Isak or Willian, but Wilson. But my problem is that because of Dubravka, I don't have space for a Newcastle asset.
Which is why I had to take -4, ladies and gentlemen, because I had Lascelles, Trippier, and Dubravka. Foolish of me to jump on the Trippier train, but that's on me. So I will tell you now, I upgraded Lascelles to bring in Pedro Porro.
Bah, Pedro Porro. I think
I,
a lot of
I,
people are gonna do that
I
with the
feel like that's
Haaland
a good
money.
move. Yeah, I feel like it's a good move. And taking out Holland means I'm taking -4 this week. So it's going to be another negative for Nathan. Negative Nathan, negative Nate. Love to see it. Let's not make it a trend.
You need to get back to your old ways of
I
taking
know.
no negatives because this negative thing isn't helping
I don't
you.
know who this man
But it's
is. This is someone else on this podcast. I need to look at myself in the mirror. No, well, I'm gonna be like Pochettino and tell you guys that I need the January transfer window.
he wants his wild card to fix his team and reset.
I
That's the
do, I
guy.
do. It's but look here. I want to say, look, we're not competing for the top 100k in the world. Not at this point. Maybe next year. Who knows? But I want to say, at this point in time, our most competitive time is each other and the mini league. And the mini league first is got 923 points. Shout out to Jared. And 10th has got 880 points. It's not a lot of points still between the top 10. It's not a
It's
lot of
one good
points.
captain away from taking yourself up, right?
I'll mention you.
It's not.
You got 878. You're 11th, so you're like one off the point on the top 10 as well. But like that's what I'm saying. You were 14th 2 weeks ago. Now you're 11th. So it's like it can happen.
Throw me under the bus. But yeah,
Until I'm below you, it's all I have left, my guy. It's all I have. Oh damn. So that's what I've done for my team. So we know what you're doing for your team. But now, who do you captain?
Everybody and their mother is going to captain Salah,
Salah
and
against
it's
United.
not only his form, But if you look at United's injury list, it's
It's
massive.
growing. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
And if you
peaking.
look at the Man United where they are right now, like they are um, they just not in a good place. It's prime time for Salah to come in and score a hat trick, right? It's prime for that. But here's the thing about United: they always do well against big teams. Just like Chelsea, they're similar right now. They'll come in against like Liverpool and they'll actually play like the United of old because
Chelsea's more a
Liverpool.
big name than a big team in anything nowadays, anyway. But I get what you mean.
But
You're not wrong.
so
You're not wrong.
I think Salah will. I think Salah is the best, most obvious captain. The question is there someone else outside of Salah to captain? And I think you're taking a risk captaining anybody else.
So,
A risk too big.
so there was. I think your staple picks. You're going to be looking at Salah. I don't know if you captain Saka, if you have him. He's playing Brighton at home, so at Arsenal. But like we've said, Saka can haul, but he's more the
He's a
5-7
consistent
pointer,
forward.
if anything. Yeah. So if you want in a haul, I don't know if Gordon is an interesting differential. So there was a question that we had about who would you pick for a differential. Maybe we should talk about that because I know we obviously won Salah, but if we look at differentials, you've got Gordon against Fulham at Newcastle, you've got Palmer against Sheffield at Chelsea, but we've spoken about that, and you've got Bowen at home against Wolves, and then Spurs away against Forest. Could you make a case for any of those? For Son, Bowen, Gordon, maybe Isak? Isak at home,
I
Fulham?
I'll do this. If I cross off my mental list, immediate reaction. Forest are actually good at home, so I'm not captaining Spurs.
Mm,
Okay. Yeah, at a time, Whistle just went. Sorry. Uh, so
So random.
this is just went.
Yeah, yeah, it was the back there. So I heard.
So Forest at home is good. They've been good. They beat Chelsea at home. Don't put it past them to keep a clean sheet
For
against
sure,
Spurs
for
or
sure.
rock Spurs. Um, if you look at
Oh,
Gordon,
Alvarez at
uh,
Crystal Palace as well. Sorry, you were right. Yeah.
Gordon is Newcastle not in form. Palmer playing for the worst team in the Premier League this season. Okay, uh, if you look at it like that as a differential captain, your best
Alvarez at
options
home
become
and then Bowen at home.
Luton. My best options become Luton at home. Okay, for Solanke because
Oh.
he's someone who is actually consistently scoring right now. His form is good, his match is good, fixtures, everything. And the same can be said about Alvarez because he's got the added benefit of Haaland not possibly playing.
Mm-hmm.
So, so if I go through my mental list, it leaves me with Solanke or Alvarez. Isak now I don't want to think about because Wilson is back. Because
Yeah,
now
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
extra reason why I couldn't captain him. So for me, your best differential captains, as you said, Alvarez and maybe Solanke
So
if you
thank
have
you.
him.
Yeah, I can jump on that bandwagon. I like it.
Ridwan will probably end up captaining Trent
Uh,
Alexander-Arnold
or
against Man United.
or
So.
or Pedro Porro against Nottingham Forest away, and something will just happen. So, I don't know. Um, great. Well, I think that is pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have any thoughts, you can comment on the YouTube video. You can leave us a tweet on X. You can not DM us on Instagram because that's not a thing. But before we close, Mike has some wisdom.
I do. I do have wisdom. I tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something about FPL. Don't let yourself lose sleep over this. It's just a game,
It's
okay?
true.
But it's a game. But it's a game that we have to win. Otherwise, it's months and months and months of your life that is
Gone
gone.
down the
So
drain.
I think something that a lot of new managers forget. Like it's good to make early transfers if you're trying to catch a price rise. But if you're not catching a price rise,
Don't
wait
rush.
for the conferences.
Yeah.
Like, you want to know if Haaland is playing? And we have all these debates about it. Do you know what's really going to tell us whether Haaland is playing or not?
Press
Pep's
conference.
press conference.
Yeah.
He will literally say Haaland
Haaland
is
is ready
okay
or
or
is not.
Haaland is
Yeah.
not.
100%.
Right? And you can't make mass changes when
Especially with
United played
Champions
last
League.
night.
Yeah. Newcastle's playing tonight.
It's just there's too much this they can go wrong. You're telling me you wanna bring Gordon in? Be careful. What happens if Gordon's injured today?
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's true. It's true.
So it's just when it's December, okay, December, boss. You gotta keep calm because
Stay calm.
there's too much craziness out there with fixture congestion, injuries, playing all the time. People is one extra thing to think about in the Premier League. Historically, there used to be people that try and get yellow cards so that they can be uh, soft banned for 1 week over Christmas so they can have an extra
A
long
break.
Christmas break.
Maybe that's what Trippier
Okay,
was doing.
go look at the list of people who are on 4 yellow cards, and guess who's one of them? If you look at your team,
Cole
Palmer.
Palmer. Yeah, you said this
Cole Palmer
earlier.
is 1 yellow card, and he's going to get a yellow card, and he's going to blank the next week. So if you're thinking of taking him out, maybe that's a good another reason why you should take Cole Palmer out.
Hold him.
Right? Don't bring someone in who's got 4 yellow cards.
It's true. It's true. It's something we didn't think about. It's something I definitely didn't think about when I brought in Trippier. It's true. You got to watch, especially now. Anything is yellow card. This yellow cards can be soft this season, so just be careful.
Look at the ref the wrong way. You don't
like,
have to say anything.
Excuse
about
me,
his
I don't
mouth.
like that eyebrow that you raised. Take this yellow card. Cheers. It's true. Happens.
But that's all I have for wisdom.
Wisdom with Mike. Wisdom Wednesdays, everybody. Wisdom Wednesdays.
Wisdom Wednesdays.
Thank you for watching.
Is that the universe saying Wilson?
Wilson Wednesdays. Damn.
The universe sending messages.
Damn. English alliterations going off. Nah. Anyway. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening.
Have a good weekend.
Yes.
Have a good FPL weekend.
May the odds be in your favor.
Put some money on me to pass Nate this week because I think if he's so down right now, I'm gonna kick him when he's down.
No, I'm taking a -4. I've already said so. Definitely could pass me this weekend.
Dig in his own grave, diggy hole.
But if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel if you like the content, and follow us on X. We're going to do a poll this weekend to see who to captain because we, other than Salah, would like to know who else people are going to be captaining. And then let us know in the comments or tweet us if you have any questions. If you need help with your team, always willing to lend a helping hand. Anything to make you sleep better at night. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, and goodbye.